Hello everyone, Scott Harris from Brown Hair Stevens and the Harris Residential Team, and this is
Eleni Canellis. I work with Scott on the Harris Residential Team.
Yeah, but you don't just work with me, you are the buyer director.
I am the buyer director.
So we spend a lot of time, probably too much time in the office every single day.
Every single morning especially, yeah.
No, it's great. I adore Eleni, and she keeps...
I keep you in check.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, we meet every day. We talk about what's new to the market, and for this morning, we were having a conversation as a team, and we were talking about this preponderance of. I was asking the team if it felt a little bit different, if we're seeing more things coming on the market as whisper listings,
right,
versus just regular public listings. And then I started to sort of mentally make the leap from that idea of properties staying off the market longer before they go public to the market. I was sort of making this leap to where you have companies like WeWork or in the recent past Uber, before they went to market, that they were getting money and they were getting funding and so forth from the private market. And so I was just kind of like making comparison. I was asking, I wanted to talk to Eleni with you, because we were trying to decide, is there more off market? Okay, hi everybody. We got somebody tried to call us and say hello in the middle of our Facebook Live. So, for instance, we get these phone calls in the office from people saying, hey, there's this. We're not even giving a price.
Right. There's this new property that we have. Before it comes to the market, are you interested, or do you have somebody that might want something like this?
Right.
Come see it before we make it public.
Right. I mean, Eleni can tell you. I mean, we do like to have stuff to share with buyers.
Absolutely, 100%.
Before it comes to the market, and it does make buyers feel like they have an edge.
Yep.
And also, it does give us more color.
Right.
To what's. If you're the listing agent for that, sometimes you want to bring in brokers just to get a sense of like, are we pricing this right?
Exactly.
But at the end of it, we're seeing emails from brokers saying, hey, this whisper listing,
right,
before it comes to the market, they're actually publicly marketing it, but they're not putting it into the public system.
Exactly. And we've done that too. We've
done it too.
Done it, yeah.
And also, there's right now the big search site that people use is called, that the public tends to use, is something called Street Easy.
Right.
And so brokers now are actually, they're not putting it on there. They're actually only marketing it, even if they're publicly marketing it, they're marketing it first to the brokerage community, or so that it doesn't show that it's on the market as
right.
long.
So it might be technically public for a couple of weeks, but it doesn't go on that public marketplace. So it looks like a fresh listing, even if we've already maybe seen it running around for a little bit. So it's interesting. It's an interesting marketing tool.
So the question I was asking is, A, do we think it's working? I ask you that.
Right.
Do you think it's actually getting your attention more, or do you see it as strictly a marketing ploy?
I think it honestly sometimes depends on the buyer. I think if we have people that are really excited to be the first ones to get in, then I think it's been a useful tool to get somebody in, to know that they're the first one in there before anybody else, gives them, the best chance maybe of getting that property. But I don't really know that I don't know that the activity or that sales are happening while it's still off market.
Right. In fact, you were saying this earlier, so I want to make sure that we put it out there, that even if it's off market and people see it, you were saying that buyers often are still waiting to see where the pricing comes out.
Exactly.
And that it's not this sense of urgency to make a decision until it's public, right, and that pricing gets vetted by the public.
By the public,
now,
absolutely.
The other side of it, because we're not all rain clouds and thunderstorms.
Gloom and doom.
We're actually more like unicorns and rainbows.
Yes.
That's actually how we are. But we're reaching out for some of our smaller apartment buyers, ones and twos, and a lot of those apartments are actually going into contract right now.
They are.
So the question is there enough of it? I mean, as you move up the price point, maybe we are seeing, a significant difference in interest level, and maybe it is really just about price discovery.
I think so.
That's happening. So what are you? like, I mean, what are you hearing from our buyers? I mean, I'm hearing from some of them that they want to get more educated.
Right.
And I mean, do you think that, like, sending these, I would think it has an educational effect, even if they decide that it's not for them.
Right.
They can sort of see that there's interest on the part of sellers to really get a more honest assessment of the market before they go to market, so they can price it correctly. Would you?
I think there's a little bit of that, definitely. I think that sellers are more savvy now to where our market is and what's happening with pricing, and I think
Sellers are.
I think sellers are
yeah.
definitely more savvy now, especially after that Times article came out and it was sort of
You think that article, this was like a few weeks ago, do you
Right.
think that article, I'm moving the camera so that Eleni doesn't disappear. Do you think that article really shook people, like sellers
I
in
don't
some
think
way?
it shook people. I think that maybe like us in the brokerage community having some kind of backup
Yeah.
from, you know, a respected publication. Oh, well, you
This
know
is what I would say. By the way, I love the Times. They're great. But I would actually, I know the guy who wrote the article.
Yeah.
And
Of course you do.
And I thought it was a little bit sensationalized. I mean, look, the numbers, it's there. Like our quarterly reports are fairly, you know, not blunt, but just very transparent. Like this
Right.
is,
This
you know,
is the data.
This is the data. But I thought it lacked a little nuance.
Yes,
You know,
I'm not
and
gonna.
even when they sell, when big apartments, like recently, one of our colleagues sold like an $80 million apartment
Right.
to Jeff Bezos. You know, that's a headline. That
Yeah.
makes great news, but that has nothing to do with one bedroom apartment.
No, nothing.
And so people try, like, they extrapolate from that to that, or if things are slow in the $6-7 million range, that means they're slow at the bottom. And
Which
I
is
think
not true.
what we're seeing is that's absolutely not true.
Right.
And I wonder, you know, we're seeing like maybe like a stabilizing at the low end. If we're going to start seeing that moving up the chain,
Hopefully.
it could very well happen. I think it ultimately comes down to pricing, and like one bedrooms have kind of come down also. And so I think all of this off-market stuff is really just meant to try to kickstart the market. And there's
Kickstart
so
interest.
much noise already. We're getting, how many emails do you think you get a day that are just, call them like broker spam?
A couple hundred? You
200.
probably
And
get more than
we
I
go
do.
through, we get matches, actual, like,
Right.
our system matches up, and we get 30 or 40.
30 to 40, definitely.
So the question really is, are we getting, yeah, I bet it's 200 or 300 emails a
I
day.
think so,
And
yeah.
at that point, and there are some brokers out there, and I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but oh my God.
They
Like,
send a few.
they send 6 a day for the same 6 properties. You're like,
Right.
yeah, like I
we
saw
got
it yesterday, and it almost is counterproductive.
Productive.
And our head of marketing for PR, our head of digital marketing has also called it like, hey guys, there's like a you know, a diminishing return at some
Right,
point.
exactly.
So we try to be thoughtful to it and try to, like this, what we're doing here, to kind of take all sorts of different marketing avenues to promote our properties. I didn't mean to bury the lead, but we do have a 4,000 square foot apartment that's off market that we will be bringing on soon. So if you're interested, we don't have the pricing. We can't tell you anything else. You have to come see it. It's a whisper listing. It's actually true, but
I know.
you know. But yeah. So anyway, I think on that fun note, we'll call it a day. I want to thank Eleni
Thank
for being a good sport. I decided for the month of November, I wanted to just start doing these almost every single day. And this morning, you know, I have ideas. I have no shortage of ideas of what I want to tell you all. I love all of my clients, and they want to know what's up, and they want to hear what's going on in my little pea-sized brain. But if you do like this, and you want to learn more about these off-market opportunities, or you just want to talk about New York City real estate, DM me, and
Yeah,
and
please reach
you'll
out.
hear from me and Eleni in the process.
Lucky
Okay.
them.
Bye.